are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency. Let's take a look at the stories playing out now. Hi everyone, welcome to October 2016. There's a lot going on, much growth and evolution. Many people are awakening now. Let's take a look at nature's unfolding cycle. And to do that, we look at the new moon point, which is a natural new seeding point. September 30th, 2016, we're going to have our second new moon of the calendar month, and that's considered what's called a black moon. You can see from this particular image that we're looking at, there's a full moon in the background, but this image was too appropriate and adorable for what I wanted to use it for, to not use it. But we're talking about the new moon, which is when the sun and moon are conjunct, and it's going to be happening at the exact point the narrative starts on the 30th of September at 5:11 p.m. Pacific time. The Sabian Symbol, the story, the narrative that is underpinning the energy set of this 8-degree, 15-minute Libra new moon is 3 old masters hanging on the wall of a special room in an art gallery. The keynote from Dane Rudyard is the need to return to source during a confused search for new value in a chaotic society. Now we can feel into a couple of things. One is just paying attention to what the symbol is showing you in your mind's eye. 3 old masters paintings hanging on the wall of a special room in an art gallery. This has to do with mastery. This has to do with tradition. This has to do with creative endeavors. And it is the number 3. 3 is creation, it is communication, and it's also community. And of course, Libra is all about justice, equanimity. It's about harmony and peace in relationships. And indeed, there's much activated on the global stage with regards to the duality of the human nature is really coming to the fore. And so indeed the keynote of the need to return to source during a confused search for a new value in a chaotic society could not be more appropriate for the now. Leo, so let's take a look at your October 2016 specific to you. The I Chings that came up for you, the 2 hexagrams that came forward to denote your unfolding narrative, the Microcycle for Leo-centric people, were number 9, small influences, and number 57, gentle penetration. And both actually speak to a very similar thing. Number 9, small influences, has to do with the ebb and flow of a tide. And there's high tide and there's low tide. And this is a time frame where it's more a low tide chapter. And so small things, taking small steps toward your goals, will ultimately make a difference. But right now it is a low tide for the month of October. Gentle penetration is actually a similar message in that it speaks to the winds. Gentle but persistent winds through a forest will make a difference over time. So it's not like a big storm making a dramatic shift now, but if you are determined and if you are consistent, moving toward your objectives, your goals, your desires, your dreams, then that is the energy of the month. It's not that there's going to be results necessarily in the month of October, but it is a time for you to move focused, gently, consistently, persistently toward that which you want. Because again, it's an ebb of a tide, but you are to be the wind, the gentle wind that makes forward movement, even though only small influences can happen at this time. Now, if we take a look at your reading, there is an interesting dynamic coming in for the center of the reading. So we can look at the middle there and see the travel card and the time alone card. It could very well be this is the center focus of your month ahead, or at least, again, this is a general reading, but we're tapping into the general collective for Leos. What is the evolutionary cycle? For you, travel, time alone, it could be that a lot of you do wish to gather your thoughts. I have to say, for a lot of signs, this is a month of planning. It's an assessment time frame. This has been a very intense year. It's been a very intense few years, but 2016 has been exponentially so. And this month seems to be a time when people are gathering themselves back together again, and really looking, planning and almost feeling their sense of empowerment in a new way. And for you, you might want to go off on your own on a trip. So maybe it's a meditation retreat, a yoga retreat, a silence retreat. It could be getting off in nature somewhere. But you're thinking about your happiness right now. And it could be that for a lot of you, you do want to be quiet, take vacation, step back, do some assessment. In your mind, up at the top of the spread, you can see the bliss card. And the bliss card is talking about your thoughts. So you are going to be focused. Your mind will be focused on your own bliss, your own happiness, which is delicious. This is very good. At the bottom, at the very base of the spread, you can see remember, return, magic, alchemy, and no focus. So I think what this is saying, because you have this trip, maybe some isolation that's called forward, that you're wanting, that you're craving for yourself, at the foundation of that, it looks like there's some memories about returning to a place that you've once been to, that was magic for you, that you've lost touch with, that you've not thought about in a while. But there's a memory of a past place that is knocking at your door. And indeed, a trip might be called, and you going alone might be called, away from a partner, away from family, etc. Now, if we look over in the emotional sector, which is on the far left side, we see the now card and the communication card. And this is your own emotional state. So Leo, what I get for you with this is that you're going to be speaking to yourself, that there's going to be a lot of internal conversation, a lot of internal dialogue that you're wanting to have with yourself with regards to your future. Because if we look over to the other side, to the far right side of the reading, you can see the later card, which is about the future, and protection, which is about your stability. So you are thinking about, on a very deep kind of long view, long-term soul journey level, you're thinking about your safety, your security, your delight in feeling rooted in your life for your future. And I think that there's a lot of internal communication going on for you about that topic. And that speaks very directly to the I Ching narrative that came up for you. So you are remembering a place perhaps that you've been before, and you are thinking about your happiness, and you are focused on the future. And indeed, this particular month cycle might bring a trip where you have a desire to take it on your own, away from a partner, away from family, away from friends even. Okay, so then Leo, if we take a look at your Dakini, beautiful Dakini you've received, because the embodiment, who you are to become and embody this month to ride this wave optimally, number 56, Flora. Flora is literally flower. So who are you to become? Flower. What does that mean? It means bloom like nature, open like nature. Be open and receptive to, for example, bees, insects, butterflies. This is about opening your natural beauty with innocence, but with wisdom. Nature is very intelligent. So, but it is very childlike at the same time, meaning that it's very open and curious, and it follows its bliss. So For you, it's very interesting because you are thinking about your own bliss. And for you to become Flora is to become the bliss of nature, the bliss that is inherent in nature. And it's also asking you to blossom. And so for you to go on a trip on your own, for you to remember a place that was magical, is going to serve you. It's going to serve you in what you're planning for your future. Okay? So, Leo, I am sending lots of love to you over the course of this cycle, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.